Hello, my name is Ariana and I am a Zone 9B flower hobby gardener. I just have a small space that I like to try and grow as many cut flowers as I can. I have only really done a few different cut flowers, and I plan on branching out a lot next year and trying a lot more for the next flower season or growing season. So I'm located in Sanger, California, right by Fresno. I thought that I would share what I'm doing today. I'm taking out zinnias that I've had planted since spring, have lasted all the way till now, just after Thanksgiving, and so pretty incredible. But feel like they're looking, they're done, they're ready, they look sad. So take those out, and I'm a beginner. Like I've said, I've only really planted a few kind of cut flower type of things. I have a few dahlias, zinnias, I'm not sure how to say it. I always say zinnias and celosia for those two type of flowers, but I've also heard celosia and zinnias or zinnia. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to say it the way that I think, the way I've been saying it. So I apologize if that's driving anyone crazy that knows the right pronunciation, but that is just what I'm gonna stick to, because that's what I think it is. So zinnias and celosia. So those two have been like my main annual cut flower source, really. I have hydrangeas that I use as well, and then I have my dahlias too that I have used as well. I've also used like basil and that kind of stuff that I've grown as well for like type of filler stuff. But anyways, today I'm just taking out zinnias, and I wanted to show you around my garden a few things that I have going on. So let's get started. So what we have over here we have a few zinnia plants that I planted over here. I actually don't normally plant on this side because it doesn't get as much sun as over in that space. Over there I have those really tall plants. You see our zinnias, and I'll go over there right now. But we have celosia plants that are still doing okay. They would probably be doing better if I was better about like cutting off what was dead. But I have some new growth from when I last trimmed, especially on this one over here. As you can see, they're really pretty. They're finally getting long enough to add in a bouquet if I wanted to for cut flowers. But yeah, I also do have, I forgot, I do have some dahlia plants here. I planted them in this spot because this is where I normally have a little more shade later in the day, so it's not as harsh. And because we get up to 110 in the summer, and stay, I don't know, for about 3 months, we're in like 90 to 100 degrees. So it's pretty hot. And with the sun, if it's in full sun, it's just, I think, too much for the dahlias in this zone. So I've had them here, and this is like the third year of them in the ground, and they've done really well. I don't take them out because, our winters aren't too bad. I think the lowest we get is probably 30 maybe degrees. I might be wrong, but it could go a little bit lower than that, but I keep them in the ground and they seem to be fine. I will actually be taking my hydrangeas out, my dahlias out this year after probably mid-December. And I have another one right here. It's hard to see, but it's this plant right here. These are white and this is purple. I'll be taking them out though this winter so that I can try to separate the bulbs, because I'm not sure how many this one might have because it's kind of smaller, but this one looks really big, and so I could probably get quite a few off of that one, which is awesome because then I can just put them back in the ground and have maybe 5 more white dahlia plants, which would be really cool. But celosia does really well. I've kind of just let it reseed. I have added new seeds a few times to try to get different varieties, but I've noticed that what comes up the best is what has already grown here. and has already like reseeded. I mean, you can only imagine, if you're not familiar with celosia, when you look at this, you'll see there's just like, look at how many little black, I mean, like hundreds of little black seeds will come off of these plants. And so that's cool because, you know, you can easily harvest the seeds and then plant. I don't know if you can't tell, I'll show you. I mean, that they just easily come off, especially because, you know, like this is dead, like you could cut this off. But you know, on like the newer ones right here, they don't have the seeds yet, right? Because they're not like done. But there's so many that, you know, right now that I have that are, so I could just like shake this and I know like a ton of seeds. I already know that a ton are already on the floor from just, I just kind of will let some of these go for a while. Anyway, so if you love celosia, what I decided to do was, I originally had celosia planted over here 2 years ago, and they just came back. They really are kind of like a weed, where like anywhere that they were like close to, they will just like pop up like hundreds and hundreds of little plants. Like you'll start seeing them like late spring. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe mid-spring you'll start seeing them growing up, and then they just will like take off, which is really cool if you like celosia, which I do. But I decided to move them over here, so I had to pull everything out over where they were. And then I was like, you know what, I want this to be like my celosia bed kind of. So I ended up planting them here. And then I had a few extra zinnias that I thought I would try here, which actually they did really, really great here. Obviously they look bad right now, like not the flowers themselves. Flowers themselves actually look well and look good, except for, you'll see what happens is they just, the cold weather with it being wet and not as much sun, you know, they're just kind of getting mildewy, and it's just, you know, time. They've been growing since spring, and zinnias are such a great flower if you're someone who doesn't want to have to take too much time and effort into a flower. You can grow these flowers and they really will just like be huge. Like actually, I think this, you'll see how huge this is this whole plant right here. I mean, that's like all of this. And I can get blooms off of here like multiple times a week. Like I could cut all of these off, and then, I mean, all of these that are like ready, I mean, they will just start flowering. I mean, it's really insane what zinnias do and how they will just bloom and bloom and bloom. And so it's been awesome, which is kind of why I focused, I'll bring you over here on to see my other ones, but which is really the main reason of why I have focused on zinnias and just growing them. They've just been awesome. We have a salmon one here. It kind of looks orangey, but it's salmon. And as you can see, yeah, like they're just looking kind of yellow and bare the bottom, but you know, you're still getting some flowers. But yeah, they're just looking sad. See, just a few days ago I looked at this one and it looked awesome, but when you see it now, it's just getting too cold, especially at night, for the flowers. But you'll even still have some that look pretty. But it's just time. It's time to pull them out. I feel like it's time to let the ground kind of recover and prepare for next year. But so this is the space that I have. I'm really just using like, you know, regular, I don't know, flower bed space. I wish I had more space. When we moved here, I didn't know how much I would enjoy planting and growing flowers and that kind of thing. But yeah, so we don't have a lot of space. I'm at this point just kind of trying to work with, you know, what we have. So I did plant here. We have a grapevine, as you can see, and it'll grow. Normally it gets like huge, but we trimmed it just recently. And it will start to bloom like mid-spring. Actually, it will probably start early spring, and then really starts to go crazy mid-spring, and then obviously in summer. So then down here, because this spot does get full sun, I planted ranunculus here underneath it because I figured ranunculus is like early spring, I believe. If maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's spring, but so I thought, well, if I plant it here before the grapes take off, then it will get plenty of sun and have plenty of space to really grow. And so really this is covered. There's like 20, I think, ranunculus here. I bought a variety. It's like a romantic variety, I think is kind of what it's called, on Etsy. And so it'll have like pinks, oranges, some purplish colors. In these pots, I planted my tulips that will also bloom in early spring. And I have them on the side of this on the house right now because I kind of got that idea from another person that I watch who did the same thing. She was worried that they wouldn't be too cool if they were out somewhere where they were in the sun. And so this spot doesn't really get a lot of sun at all. If it does, it's like really early in the morning and for like an hour and that's it. So I thought I'd put them right here to make sure that they stay cold enough and don't get too warm because, you know, here, even though it's winter, it's like 65 midday with the sun. It's kind of warm. So anyway, I'm going to take all this out today and get things going. So first I have to remove some of this plant or garden tape that I had to hold back some of the plants that they were kind of falling into the grass. And, you know, my husband has, you know, when he mows the grass, he's like, I'm going to like hit your plant. So I decided I just needed to kind of put them back. And there I was just showing you how big they get. They really just, they get so tall and they start falling over. So I did put that little fence there as well to kind of keep it from falling over and keep it all contained. It just helps to keep the plants upright so that I'm able to cut them and get to them a little bit easier. I noticed that one of the cool things about planting your flowers so close together, like these kind of look, is that the weeds don't really have a lot of space to, you know, grow. And so it helps a little bit with the weeds. There's a little bit there. And so I did take some of that out as well along with the plants, but not very much. We did mulch all of this back area and our front yard. One of my friends had a great idea to call a company that cuts, you know, trees and asked if they would bring a load because they like turned into mulch and split it between both of us. And so she called and had that done. And the funny thing about that, though, is that we were on vacation when they dropped it off in our driveway. And so when we came back, it was this huge amount of mulch, and it took us a while to get it all so now they're
figured
gone.
out. But
we have this big pile of these. It's really incredible how big these can get. It's just like, here's one right here. Just huge. I mean, they can get so big, which is so nice because if you're someone like me who loves cut flowers, that's mainly why I grow my flowers. I really love to make, you know, bouquets for myself or family or friends. And these, they just, you know, they're tall. They grow tall enough, and the more that you cut them, if you cut them low, they'll just get taller and taller, and so it's pretty cool. So I think it's important when you are growing flowers, or when you have a garden or thinking about growing flowers, that you think about like your purpose, like why. Is it for just you to look at? Is it because you want to cut flowers, or you know, for me it's mostly, I do love to see the flowers out here, but my big thing is I just love giving flowers away, having flowers in the house, and it makes me happy, and I feel like it makes other people happy, and so that's really you know, why I grow flowers. And so I look like a mess, but it is what it is. And yeah, I really love to cut flowers and have them in the house and give away to family, like I said, or use them for special occasions. Sometimes I like, you know, I barely had enough to take to Thanksgiving, and I just kind of, you know, made these little arrangements and put them on the tables. And my mom really liked to garden and grow flowers, mainly roses for her. She loved roses. And we have like roses all around our front house, and the front yard, and the back, in the house that I grew up in. And so when I'm out here, you know, it feels really good. It feels nostalgic. You know, my mom has early onset Alzheimer's, and so, sorry, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. But I think really that started why I love to garden so much, because it makes me feel more connected to, you know, the person that she was. Anyone who knows Alzheimer's or has dealt with it, I'm so sorry, but you know that it's hard to watch someone that you knew completely change, and so I think that's one of the big reasons why I started to garden and want to be out here, because it just kind of connects me to, like, I did that with my mom growing up, and so it does make me feel a little more connected to those memories, you know, of what was. And so good memories. But so that's, you know, I do love cut flowers, though. I think it makes me really happy to be able to give them away or have them for myself. So I do plan to start a lot more flowers, different kind of flowers. One thing that I am excited to start soon, because is the flower lisianthus. It's something that you need to kind of start early on, because I hear it takes a long time for it to grow. And so I'll probably start it indoors under grow lights this month, or starting December, because I'm actually waiting for grow lights that I ordered, or a grow light that I ordered. Anyway, so that's something though that I wanted to plant in this spot that had the zinnias, and then I have a new spot in the front that I might do the zinnias. So lisianthus here, and then possibly the zinnias in front. I don't know, that might change. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot more that I want to start, and I'll share that journey and kind of experience with you. I think that, you know, if you're just starting, you know, growing flowers, or you feel like you don't have space, or that maybe you can't do cut flowers or cut garden because of your space, I'm here to show you. But I think that you can, no matter the space you have. I hear that, you know, if you are wanting to do cut flowers, because a lot of them are annual flowers, and you can get perennials too that are, you know, flowers that you can cut for arrangements. But annuals, you can kind of group them together pretty tightly in a small space and get, you know, what you want, fillers and main flowers. And so that's kind of my hope, is to focus more on flowers that I can fill with, and kind of just have more to choose from. I think it'll be fun. So I have a lot on my list, and I'll do another video where I'm showing all the flowers that I'm going to plant, and pictures of them, and where I'm getting them from, and then of course the process of starting them and stuff, because I'm going to try and start mainly everything either under grow lights, or in the little pop-up greenhouse that I have. It's like, I bought it on Amazon for like, well, my husband got it for me, it was like $100. You can put it up and take it down, which is really nice, because we don't really have a lot of space for an actual greenhouse, but it works, and that's what matters. So anyway, that's about it for this video. I hope that it reaches anyone who is anyone in general who likes flowers, or who, you know, maybe isn't a beginner like me. You can learn along with me as I'm learning more, but also those who are in my zone. A lot of times I look for, you know, someone in my same zone, and I don't find a ton. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll just make videos of, you know, sharing what I'm doing. So that's the idea too. So hopefully, you know, there's someone out there that this is helping, and thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.